So it's incredible that Malya, our awesome guest for today, here she is here to join us on this happy discussion.
I feel like my cheeks are hurting because I was watching the intro from backstage and like you guys are talking about happiness and like my cheeks are just hurting already. I'm like, wow, you're making me happy just talking about happiness.
It is awesome. Awesome. So without further ado, let's Baruch jump into Malya's bio so that we could get into Malya's story. Who's Malya?
Of course. So Malya Feivelson, our guest, is the host of the Hebrew Hits podcast and is known for the Malya Cam. Malya creates buzz for businesses by creating 1-minute interviews with companies around the world. She is the queen of LinkedIn. Malya is inspiring, and she is motivating all to not just live, but also, she's motivating all to live and not just exist. Very awesome, very cool, especially because for a while I've had a saying, don't just survive, thrive. And that's something that Yirmi and I are actually working on now. So Malya, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's amazing that I'm on the show. I just met Yirmi and his wife like a week and a half ago and 2 weeks at the Success event. Then we met again. And now I'm here. It's amazing where like life brings you when you put yourself out there. It's awesome. Oh, yeah. So thank 100%.
You. 100%. And, I'd love to start off by talking more about that because the little bio is great, but it doesn't really give a picture into a person's personal journey. I was reading your LinkedIn bio, and if I'm understanding correctly, I think it was the last year and a half to 2 years, that's where like you went from your start to where you are now. Would love to hear more about who is Malya and where did you start and what are you doing now and how did all that happen to be? Like your personal bio, really.
Yeah. So thank you. That's actually a great question. So happens to be that people always say, who are you? I'm like, I'm creating Malya. Like, I'm not defining myself by if I'm a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, a teacher, an artist. Like, I am Malya. That's who I am, my name. And really interesting, I only got a smartphone 2 years ago. And I really didn't want to get a smartphone, but I said, you know what? People can't even communicate with me these days. So I got a smartphone and then I got onto LinkedIn and I started just creating like 1-minute videos. I didn't know where it was going to take me, but someone challenged me. I'm very competitive. Someone challenged me, said, you can't do better than me on LinkedIn. I said, yes, I can. Oh. And so I got on LinkedIn and I started creating videos every single day. And it hasn't even been 2 years. It's been 1.5 years. And I went from 0 to close to 14,000 followers.
Wow.
And the reason I think people follow me is because I'm very real with my audience. I post 1-minute videos. I never ask for anything in return. I'm there to inspire people, to motivate people to live. And now, after 1.5 years, I'm going to start telling people what I do behind the scenes. But really, it's like the Malya, I want like the Malya Cam. Like that's what I do. Like the Malya Cam represents Malya, which represents life. And I want people to understand that there's so much more to life than just your job, your title. Who are you? Like deep within yourself. So I come from 5 towns. I grew up in Cedarhurst. I went to Ben Oschaba Seminary, and I came back from seminary really not knowing what I wanted to do. I became an assistant teacher for the first year when I was like straight back from seminary, what everybody does, realized it wasn't for me. Went to college, became an interior designer, graduated as an interior designer.
Wow.
And I decided that's not what I love. I don't feel like I'm impacting people. So it started with a podcast. I ended up on my college radio station. I also ended up flying out to Ryan Seacrest. There's a lot here, but I ended up flying out to Ryan Seacrest. I went to WFAN, 1010 Wins, 880 News. I did a lot of radio stuff until I realized, let me try to create my own thing. And entrepreneurship just fell right into my lap. Not something that I ever did. I just never ended up getting a job because nothing was exciting me but creating Malya. So I just stuck with it, and now I'm an entrepreneur. First in the family.
That's incredible.
Wow, that is incredible. And one thing I want to share with the audience is like, okay, so I'm seeing this young woman, posting on LinkedIn, and we have similar contacts. So somebody from my contacts, I guess, commented on something that Malya did. So yeah, I see Malya here and there, and cool, But one thing that really caught my eye was that Alaska trip that you did, and that's when I was like, wait a second. This girl is pretty cool. Like this person's really she's got something up her sleeve, and I'm curious at what is she doing. And then I started watching, actually what you were doing, and I was like, just blown away. And I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to like undermine what you were doing, but please share with us a little bit about the background of the Alaska trip. You know, what was your intention? You know, things that you were talking about with the people that you were meeting, you know, on the mountains and stuff. Just share with us a little bit that experience, because I mean, that's personally when I sort of like really, really wanted to follow Malya. So
thank you. So it's very interesting. That was your time. A lot of people come and tell me their stories once I meet them in person. What was the time that they wanted to follow Malya? I had a guy recently tell me on LinkedIn, I wanted to follow you the second I saw you just knock on a CEO's door and hand him one of your swag t-shirts. I literally just knocked on his door and I said, thank you for coming to my networking event that I created. Last year. I was on LinkedIn for 6 months. And I said, I'm going to have a networking event under my belt before I turn the age 25. And I did it. And I had 200 people sign up for my event. So it was really, really amazing. Wow. So I knocked on this guy's door, gave him a t-shirt, and that was his favorite. So your favorite is Alaska. The way the Alaska trip came to be is pretty interesting. I have 6 brothers, and I have 2 sisters. So we're 3 girls. And we were thinking, like, my sister's married and my other sister's single. We're thinking, what can we do for the summer? And I was like, listen, I'm overheating. I need to go somewhere cold. And I like, as if a computer overheats. So yeah, I was literally overheating, and the New York summer was so hot. We said, okay, we're going to go to Alaska. Before I went to Alaska, I was speaking to a different LinkedIn connection who said, Malya, I have a great idea for you. Why don't you just like create the 1 minute, 1 question show and just interview people like random places doing random things. And I always had in my mind that I want to interview people doing wild things, like jumping out of a plane or climbing up a cliff and all these things. And Alaska really gave me that opportunity because I was on like the glaciers. I literally was climbing on ice. So I took out my camera and I interviewed people wherever I went, and I have such good videos. I have videos with fishermen, videos on glaciers, like really, really cool videos with the captain of a boat, like of the cruise. I sat with him. I got a seat I didn't like, and I said, this is not the seat I wanted. I wanted a window seat, but okay, Hashem put me here. Why? And I realized if I was at a window seat, I would have just sat there the whole time. But no, I didn't like my seat. I went to the captain's spot, and I said, listen, I want to talk with you. I want you to teach me how to ride a boat. People don't know, the passengers don't know, but Malya was riding the boat in Alaska. And I have a video of him teaching me. He's like, okay, Malya, and I put the hat on. And so I just filmed the video with him. Wherever I go, I talk to people and I just film. And I really, what I went around in Alaska doing and what I do now all over the world, I'm going to LA next week and I'm going to be doing that there as well. I find people and I just say, what's your definition of success? What does success mean? And like everybody is different. The guy in the glacier said, well, I'm a tour guide. I don't want anybody dying on a glacier. So my success is bringing everybody back safely. And believe me, we're stepping over a crack. Now there's a hole and there's a glacier and a crack in the middle. And he says, if you want to be very like daredevilish, put 1 foot over each side. And I was like, oh, sure, I'll do that. And so I was the only one in the group and I did it. And like the crack, it would not have fit my body. I was too big for the crack. Like I almost slipped a little bit in. My sister yanked me out. She's like, what are you going to do? This is crazy. You cannot do this. But I'm saying like, I like to live. I like to do things that are different. And I like to experience life. And that's what I just want to show the world is like, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, whatever you are, you can live your best life. Not by just like looking at the sky and saying it's beautiful. Yes, that's amazing. But by really finding that passion inside of you and bringing that out and making that into your life and creating like something from nothing. And that's also why I coach people on passion coaching, which I speak with them and I get their passions out of them. I literally can get from speaking to someone so deeply for 2 minutes, I can understand what they're all about. Not everything, because it's just 2 minutes, but I can get to a deeper way where I can understand what they want to do. Like I spoke with Jeremy in the pizza shop. And like, yes, it was nice in the beginning, but then you see how I can get deep with someone very quickly.